Tonight, we're looking at a questionable venture that claims to help prevent and solve violent crimes. We're talking about a device called ShotSpotter. It listens for and reports gunfire so police can be dispatched immediately.
Well, Little Rock accepted a grant 2 years ago to install the system, and now police want the city to pay to keep them. But in a Fox 16 Investigates, Susan Elcory learned while it's listening, it's doing very little to lead police to an arrest.
Since they've been around for a little over 2 years, ShotSpotter's led to thousands of calls. But of those, police made an arrest at the scene only 8 times. That's not much consolation for families, hoping this tech would put shooters behind bars.
In a stack of old cards,
and that was his Father's Day card.
Courtney Coleman holds on to memories of her husband.
You're the best thing that ever happened to me.
Not knowing that was one of the last things she'd tell him.
You ripped my soul from me, from our family.
In January 2019, flashing lights filled 29th Street, where Little Rock police found Wiley Carr's body. He'd been shot multiple times on a street filled with homes, but no one called for help.
The ShotSpotter is the reason why they knew, because no one called 911.
Police pinpointed where Carr was because of this ShotSpotter. It's a sensor that detects gunshots and dispatches officers. At the time, ShotSpotters were new. They'd only been around the city for a month. Carr was the first victim they helped find, and police were quick to praise.
I think last night definitely paid off. We got to there and were able to preserve that scene to get that evidence to start going forward.
Fast forward to 2 years later, not much has changed since that night. Police haven't caught Carr's killer.
What is the purpose of the ShotSpotter? You know, it did nothing. Yes, it let them know that someone fires some shots, but it didn't save them. And it's 2 years in, and we have absolutely no answers.
It's far from results touted on ShotSpotter's website to locate more witnesses and identify shooters faster. That's what Little Rock Police sold to the board of directors 3 years ago, who unanimously voted for the technology. But based on what we uncovered, it's not meeting expectations. We pulled records of every time a ShotSpotter heard gunfire, starting with day 1 in December 2018. Since then, they've picked up more than 2,000 suspected shootings. Of those, police made 8 arrests at the scene and were only able to list a suspect in their initial report 7 other times. That equals a less than 1% chance of a ShotSpotter leading to a suspect. The numbers show more trends. We found the majority of times a ShotSpotter went off, officers never filed a report. When they did, most looked like this. The suspect, unknown. For evidence, officers wrote negative results or no signs of criminal or suspicious activity.
Would you vote for it today?
I wouldn't. I don't know.
City board member Ken Richardson voted for ShotSpotters, but when we showed him the numbers, he wanted a second look.
Based on the information you just shared with me, it makes me think whether or not it warrants, pun intended, it warrants the need to have spot shotters.
He lives in and represents Southeast Little Rock, home to the most ShotSpotters in the city, picked because the violence on these streets isn't a secret.
To hear the number and types of weapons that we have in certain parts of our community, it's like you're in a war zone.
With that in mind, Richardson said he'd ask police for a report analyzing results, something the department told us it hasn't done.
I think they need to be more transparent. I think the information needs to be shared to justify the city funding the ShotSpotters and us using taxpayers' dollars.
ShotSpotter started off funded by federal grants, but now the city is at a crossroads. The police department is asking City Hall to okay a plan where taxpayers would have to pay part of the bill to the tune of nearly $150,000 a year.
I've heard a couple of colleagues want to increase the numbers. We need to be honest with ourselves and make sure this is not something that's symbolic, it's something that we're doing just to say we're doing this.
Without seeing the payoff, families caught in the crossfire keep pleading for help.
Somebody had to have seen something. A car, somebody walking, something in order to get someone to come to justice for his murder.
Constantly wondering if the gunshots that ripped her family apart while ShotSpotter listened really just fell on deaf ears.
It's there, but what do we find out in the end? Does it take 5, 10, 20 years? Or do we never find out?
I reached out to Little Rock Police. They did not want to do an interview, but told me that they haven't kept track of success rates. A spokesman for ShotSpotter tells me he believes the system works, but it depends on how police are using it. The City Board of Directors is set to vote on keeping the devices next Tuesday. Back to you.